Lesson 2.3, Length Conversions. We convert lengths the same way we've been converting currency, mass, and capacity, by setting up a proportion and solving for the missing value. Let's review one more time. So the first problem, we're going to convert 8 inches into centimeters. So over in the bubble here, we can see that 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. So that's going to be the first part of our conversion. Just like always, it doesn't matter which one goes on the top and which one goes on the bottom, as long as I know that on the other side I'm going to put inches in line with inches and centimeters in line with centimeters. So I'm converting 8 inches and I don't know how many centimeters. Okay, so to solve this, I always take my values that are on the diagonal. So in this case, 2.54 and 8. And I divide by my other value, which is 1. So let's bring up our calculator. So we end up with 2.54 times 8. And we get 20.32. So that tells me that 8 inches is 20.32 centimeters. So what I'd like you to do is try these problems. So you can pause the video. Make sure you're using your formula booklet. So it looks like this. And you're using these conversion rates to help you solve those. So take a second. Give these 3 problems a try and then come back and we'll correct them. Okay, so 6 meters to yards. So let's look at our table and we can see that 1 yard is 0.9144 meters. So that's what we're going to use. I'm just going to jot it down over to the side. 1 yard equals 0.9144 meters. Okay, so we set up our proportion. 9144 meters. That equals, so the value I have to plug in is 6 meters. It has to line up with meters in my proportion, which is on the bottom. And I'm looking for my x. So in this case, I'm multiplying on the diagonal, which is 1 times 6. And then I'm dividing by that other value, which is 0.9144. So I get out my calculator. And I do 6 divided by 0.9144, and I get a big long decimal point, 6.5616, so on and so forth. So I can round that to 6.56. So 6 meters is equal to 6.56 yards. Okay? Convert 3 miles to kilometers. So first I need my conversion rate. And I can see that 1 mile is 1.609 kilometers. Oh, sorry. 1 mile equals 1.609 kilometers. So that's my conversion rate. So I start with that. And I'm going to put 3 miles lined up with the 1 mile. And I'm going to multiply on the diagonal. So I'm going to end up with 3 times 1.609 divided by 1. Oh, that should be 1. Sorry about that. Alright, so let's throw it in the calculator and see what we get. 3 times 1.609 and we get 4.827. We can round that to 4.83 kilometers. So 3 miles is equal to 4.83 kilometers. Okay, and the last one is convert 4 feet to centimeters. So let's see if we can find our conversion rate. 1 foot is equal to 30.48 centimeters. So I'll jot that over here. 1 foot is equal to 30.48 centimeters. Okay, so we'll use that to start. Um, 4 feet will line up with 1 foot, and we'll put X down here. So we're multiplying on the diagonal, so we end up with 4 times 30.48 divided by 1. Okay, we'll get our calculator. 4 times 30.48, and we get 121.92. So 4 feet is 121.92 centimeters. Okay, so it's the same conversions we've been doing for the last chapter and a half. They haven't changed. We're just now looking at lengths instead of capacities or masses or currency. So let's look at some word problems. Carrie works in a St. John's home decor store that sells products from all over the world. Some items are sold in imperial units. Other items are sold in SI units. One of Carrie's jobs is to make display tags. The tags give the information in SI and imperial units for length. So a rectangular mirror is imported from US and has dimensions of 30 inches by 48 inches. So what they want us to do is to convert those measurements to centimeters. So we know from the first page that 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. That's also on our conversion sheet. So we're going to use that to do both of our conversions. So what I'd like you to do is take a second and convert 30 inches to centimeters and then 48 inches to centimeters. Okay, so let's see how you did. So we'll do 1 inch over 2.54 centimeters is equal to, and we'll put 30 inches up here and our X down there. So we're multiplying on the diagonal, so we end up with 30 times 2.54 over 1. So 30 inches is equal to 30 times 2.54, 76.2 centimeters. So 30 inches is equal to 76.2 centimeters. Now we're going to do the same thing with 48. Okay, so we put 48 up here. So we end up with 48 times 2.54. So 48 times 2.54. Oh. And we get 121.92. Okay, so the dimensions of that mirror in SI units are 76.2 centimeters by 121.92 centimeters. Okay. A circular rug imported from India has a diameter of 150 centimeters. Convert that measurement to the nearest inch. So we're going to use the same conversion rate, that 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters, but this time, because our measurement is centimeters, it goes in the bottom, so it lines up with the 2.54. So then when I multiply, it's 150 times 1, and I divide by 2.54. And that's going to tell me that 150 divided by 2.54 is 59 inches. So 150 centimeters is 59 inches. So I would like you to try the next problem. So a square table has a side length of 36 inches. Give the length in centimeters. And a glass vase imported from Spain has a height of 60 centimeters. Give the length in inches. So take a second, pause the video, and give those a try, and come back and see how you did. Okay, so since we're still dealing with centimeters and inches, we're still dealing with that same conversion rate. So the first one, we do 1 inch over 2.54 centimeters, and we're converting 36 inches. So we get 36 times 2.54 over 1. For a total 91.44 centimeters. So 36 inches is 91.44 centimeters. So B, it's the same idea, 1 inch over 2.54 centimeters. But this time it has to line up the 60 with the 2.54 centimeters. So we end up with 60 times 1 divided by 2.54. And we get 23.6. We can round that, 23.6 inches. So 60 centimeters is 23.6 inches. So if you feel like you need a little bit more practice with that conversion, you can check out page 86, numbers 2, 3, 6, and 11. Okay, let's look at another example. So we're going back to speed. We're going back to converting between Canada and the U.S. So we saw capacity and we saw mass earlier as an issue converting between Canada and the U.S. Now we're going to look at speed. So in the U.S., they measure speed in miles per hour. So how many miles can you drive in 1 hour? In Canada, we measure speed in kilometers per hour. This can be a bit confusing if you're traveling between the two. So Reese lives in Corner Brook. Next month he'll be driving in the USA. He wants to get familiar with thinking in miles before he travels south. So some major highways have a speed limit of 70 miles per hour. Calculate the speed in kilometers. So 70 miles per hour just means that in 1 hour you can drive 70 miles. So if we convert that 70 miles to kilometers, we'll know the speed in kilometers per hour. So let's get our conversion rate. So miles to kilometers, 1 mile is 1.609 kilometers. So let's jot that over here. 1 mile is equal to 1.609 kilometers, and we'll be using that to do these conversions. So what we're going to do is convert that 70 miles into kilometers. So we start with 1 mile, we start with our conversion rate, 1.609 kilometers, and we're converting 70 miles. So we're going to end up with 70 times 1.609, and let's see what we get. 70 times 1.609 is 112.63. So we'll just say kilometers. So 70 miles an hour is about, let's say, 113, we'll round, kilometers per hour. The speed trap on the Trans-Canada Highway outside Corner Brook is 80 kilometers per hour. What is that equivalent in miles per hour? So the same thing, this says that we're allowed to drive 80 kilometers in 1 hour. So if we convert that 80 kilometers to miles, we'll know the speed in miles per hour. So we use the same conversion rate. 1 mile is 1.609 kilometers. But this time our measurement is in kilometers, so it goes in the bottom. So we end up with 80 times 1 divided by 1.609. And we get 49.7, or we can say 50 miles per hour. So 80 kilometers per hour is equivalent to 50 miles per hour. Okay, so I want you to try these A and B. So you're going to convert 30 miles per hour to kilometers, and then you're going to convert 50 kilometers per hour into miles per hour. When you're done, come back and see how you did. Okay, so let's have a look. So the first one, we're converting 30 miles. We start with 1 mile and 1.609 kilometers. 30 miles goes on top. So we end up with 30 times 1.609. And we get 48.27. So we'll say 48 kilometers per hour. So 30 miles per hour is about 48 kilometers per hour. And now we're going to convert 50 kilometers. So we can see just from example A that 48 kilometers is 30 miles. So 50 kilometers should be somewhere around 30 miles, maybe just above. Let's have a look. So we set up our proportion. This time we put the 50 in the bottom, in the denominator, and we end up with 50 times 1 divided by 1.609, and we get 31. So 31 miles per hour is equivalent to 50 kilometers per hour. Okay? So if you'd like more practice with those conversions, you can try page 90, 1, 2, 4, and 6.